transmission.
GSL Season 1.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the GSL Season 1 Finals.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I just realized I need to change that a moment. But welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to another season here, the GSL, the 2026 GSL Season 1 Playoffs, the final day of Season 1. I'm, of course, Live VIP, and with me, I'm joined by, soon to be joined by the fellow players as well. One moment. I do need to fix up the clean feed here, but we are getting into the final day here of the GSL Season 1 Playoffs. We have our top four. We have our top four, and not just that, we have our offline events, Pappy. It's been online. The entire season of GSL has been purely online. Finally, we get some offline StarCraft. Oh, it's been far, far too long. Un momento, as I quickly fix some things up. Beautiful, beautiful. But yes, we finally do get to the offline StarCraft we've been waiting for here with our top four players, and likewise going to be joined by our lovely main casters, State and Tasteless. Beautiful, beautiful. Un momento. As we do fix up our clean feed. And we are there. Beautiful. No. Beautiful. So we do have our clean feed here. We do have our matches ahead of us here. It's going to be two best of fives. Two best of fives followed by the best of 7 grand finals. We have 4 players remaining here in this event. We have 4 players left. It is going to be herO versus Cure and Maru versus Shin. 2 Terrans, 1 Zerg, and 1 Protoss. Balanced as all things should be, Pappy. True, true. So we have our top 4 players, and we're going to have our initial matchup here, herO versus Cure. Likewise, before we get ahead of ourselves here, if you want to support the GSL, you can do so via Patreon. Patreon.com/GSL is the place to be to support StarCraft, to support Korean StarCraft and GSL itself. It's thanks to supporters on Patreon that we do have 2 seasons of GSL this year. We have Season 1, which is concluding, and we have Season 2 starting next week. Back-to-back intense schedule here when it comes to StarCraft 2, and Season 3 has yet to be funded. I'm sure we'll be seeing a graphic momentarily regarding the final season, or the 3rd season of GSL this year, but we do have a stretch goal for that. I believe it's going to be $10,000 a month. If we can reach that stretch goal, bam, then we can fund Season 3 of GSL, and then there's another stretch goal to actually grow it, to have an extra day of matches, and grow it into the round of 16 instead of just the round of 12. So there are ways to support GSL if you wish, via Patreon or via Soup itself. Meanwhile, it's been a long season of StarCraft. We actually just had the Season 2 qualifiers a couple of days ago as well, last week. So again, very intense schedule here. And we've had an interesting turn of events. Coming into this event here, a lot of people were looking at players like Classic, players like herO, Cure, Maru to make it through. Classic didn't make it into top 4, but Shin did. Shin, he's been very aggressive, very assertive. He's had a very... I was going to say very unique, but he's been a bit of a pioneer when it comes to ZVT. Again, we did take note of that previously during DreamHack Dallas last year when he showcased that Roach into Ultra play, and now we're seeing more of that nowadays. A lot of Roach heavy play, Roach heavy styles, but there are other kind of avenues of tech that are much more viable nowadays, as we do have the Patreon. But what I was going to get into here is that we have other tech that are much more viable nowadays, like Muta play, for example. We have been seeing a resurgence of Link Bane Muta, and likewise, it all comes off of 2-base lair tech. 2-base lair tech going into Roaches, going into Hydras, going into Mutas. We have seen Shin embrace this kind of ambiguity of how to play out on 2 bases, hiding his tech and catching the opponent off guard time and time again. We'll get into that when it comes to the ZVT. Meanwhile, when it comes to our next matchup, the TVP, herO has been very unstable, as herO is, as he always is, of course. herO, he's a very unpredictable player. He can excel, or sometimes he can fumble the ball a little bit here. Even during the group stage, after he beat Beyond, what did herO say? herO said that if he plays like he is right now, then he will not make it far in the playoffs. He said it himself that he needs to level up, he needs to refine his play, he needs to get into form if he wants to do well against players like Cure and Maru. For now, though, here come the stretch goals for this season of GSL. Very quickly, bam, as you can see here, we have $6,000 a month, $6,000 a month for GSL CK being twice a month. GSL Season 3 to be confirmed this year if we can reach $10,000. And as you can see here, we're reaching 7K. Almost, might be honest, we've at least reached our first stretch goal of hosting 2 GSL CKs a month, but up next is going to be 10,000 USD. We are almost there. We're more than halfway. We're more than halfway there, and if we can make it there, then we can have a 3rd season of GSL. So if you're out there, if you want to support StarCraft, support GSL, support Korean StarCraft especially, then do take part, do consider supporting not just Korean StarCraft, by the way. If you know anything about the GSL Season 2 qualifiers, you would know that they did open up to international play. The only prerequisite is that players that make it into top 4, they need to actually fly to Korea themselves and be available to do so. And as a result, we have Clem. Clem, for the first time in history, is playing in GSL Season 2. He will be a part of that event. He will be a part of it. And again, that'll be next week. That'll be next week. For now, though, again, we can focus on our current GSL season. We do have our current supporters on our Patreon as well and on Soup. So big shout out to our supporters, of course. Much love to our Nessie Award tier supporters and the GSL champion supporters as well. Gracias. Do appreciate it. As we're about to get into the bracket itself. We're getting there. Also, bienvenidos. Así, ahí están in the chat. Ahí están. Bienvenidos. Evil as well. And a top fan. Oh, yes, here we go. Here we can see the trajectory of our group so far. One moment as I clear it up a little bit. There we go. We had our initial Group A and Group B round of 8. Kira and Maru made it through Group A over Rogue and Classic. That was a very stacked group, the group of death, if you will. Group B also took place with Shin, Xian, herO, and herO, and both herO and Shin did advance on as well. Personally, I was leaning towards herO and herO, but it was Shin who popped off, and at least we have one Zerg player in the semis. Will be able to have one in the finals. Yet to be determined, of course. As we have our 2 series, as you can see here, with our semifinals, bearing in mind that the grand finals will also take place tonight. They'll also be here as that best of 7. Bam. As you can see, we have our matchups. Our initial Kira versus herO into Shin versus Maru into said grand finals. I'm curious if we have any. I mean, I would imagine we're going to have some interviews ahead of time as well, showcasing players on the stage. Again, the crowd shots as well. I did notice the Korean casters. I also noticed, I believe there's no caster park, which is a bit of a feels bad, man. I think I did get a glimpse of the Korean casting setup. And yeah, I did not notice caster park there, so that's a bit of a feels bad, man. Didn't quite notice the others, but here we go. We do have our top 2 players here. We do have herO and Kira on stage. Oh, Sola's on the casting couch. Oh my god. Okay.
Hi, Kira. Hi. All right, round of
Is that
applause,
Rogue?
please.
They got Rogue and Solar on the casting couch.
You're the only one started from the round of 12.
No, wait, no, is that Ryung?
And
Sorry,
now
my
you're
apologies. He's not looking at the
So
camera.
how was the process has been?
It's Ryung
So,
draft.
has this it solidified you? Well, coming out here, I actually got the time to look back myself, and I did a lot of ladder games, but also I did a lot of custom games. So I tried to make a lot of counter. But yeah, so I think that kind of worked. Yeah, there's a lot of stories here. And finally, while your opponent got to be herO, how do you feel? Well, herO got him a lot of times. herO got me a lot of times in the big games. It stressed me a lot. So I really want to win this time. Well, you're kind of trying to be acting weak here. Well, so I'm trying to ask herO here. What do you think? Well, I mean, me myself also has a lot of track record of losing to Cure, so I think he's kind of backing out. How about you, Ryung? Any questions? Well, you said you have a lot of custom games here, practice. So, did you have any thoughts on Cure here? Well, personally, I didn't really feel good on playing custom games myself, so I just played a lot of ladder games. And I played a lot of custom games with ryung, actually, so yeah, I think I can win. So that means if the game goes south, that it's all ryung's fault, right?
True,
yeah,
true.
It is. Like I think he frauded me. Well, how about you, Ryung? Well, I had a really hard time playing with herO because I lost a lot to him. So any questions to Cure Solar? Well, I think I saw like he analyzed a lot with a lot of custom games and VODs. So what do you think of Cure's playstyle here? Well, particularly against herO, I really don't need to have a conversation. So I'm just gonna smack him here.
Oh my god, the predictions in the chat. Oh my god.
% against 28.
Damn.
Well, that's gonna be a little sting for you, Cure. Well, you have a lot of journey, and you got to round of 4, and your odds are against you 70-30. How do you feel about that? Well, I have to admit, like after the EWC, my performance hasn't been great. So I think, yeah, that's kind of reflects that. But yeah, but I had beat a lot of tough opponent in the round of 8, so I'm pretty confident. So how do you feel about predictions, herO? Well, actually, I'm really thankful that many people think that I'm really in good form, so I'm really grateful for that. But I'm not gonna back down, not let my guard down, because Cure showed a lot of potential here around. So yeah. Well, you're kind of respecting the player, so you're like playing down a bit, don't you? Well, I kind of little did. So. Well, you have a lot of history and good win rate of herO, so I think that reflects that on the predictions. So, any last words, both players, starting Cure? Well, he's a tough opponent for sure, but I'm gonna do my best. And then I prepared a lot for this, so yeah, I'm gonna lift the trophy here. Any words, herO? And a lot of people came here, and of my fans also came here a lot as well. So yeah, I'm going to repay with this with a win. A lot of round of please, possibly for both.
There we have it. A big shout out to Maddox, by the way. Maddox, of course, providing some translations for both herO and Cure's interview. Something that, yeah, caught me off guard as I was mentioning during the interview was that ryung and Solar on the casting couch. I noticed something earlier, so it's a bit of a meta conversation. But if you remember, for whatever reason, there was no official Korean casters for the entirety of GSL, right? The GSL qualifiers and the GSL group stage, there was no official Korean cast. We had ryung casting on his channel, we had Inu casting on his channel as well, but these were community casters. And it really stood out because if you remember, during the group stage, Tasteless and State, they were the ones conducting interviews with the players for the first time. Like, that hadn't happened before. It was really weird. And now here, as we're getting into our live event, we can see there's no Caster Park, there's no JYP, so it looks like all the previous SC2 casters in Korea that we once had, whether it's Caster Park, whether it's JYP, whether it's Goliath, it looks like they are unavailable, and they didn't end up casting. Even I assume that we would have them here for the playoffs, but maybe they're. I think some of them are actually casting ASL, if I recall correctly. I'm pretty sure Caster Park is covering ASL and some of the other events, but it looks like they're not actually getting involved with SC2, which is a bit of a shame. You know, Caster Park, he's infamous. He's infamous when it comes to his casting voice, of course, when it comes to his aura, when it comes to his stage presence, when it comes to how he introduces players. Like, he is a big part of the Korean StarCraft, so it is a shame not to see him here. On the flip side, it's really cool to see ryung get onto the main casting stage with Solar. I kind of wish it was ryung and Crank, not gonna lie. Like, Crank, he has a lot of experience casting nowadays after years of online casting. ryung is much newer to the casting scene, so I'm curious as to what happened there. I feel like Crank should have been the go-to. Like, it would have been so much fun to have seen Crank alongside ryung, covering and hosting the event itself. So I think it's a bit of a shame. Maybe Crank wasn't available, so they went for ryung instead and Solar. I can't really say for certain, but it is a missed opportunity not to have Crank. I'll be honest. Feels bad, man. Feels a little bit bad, man. It might actually have something to do with maybe Crank's deal with Chijik, maybe because Crank has been working more closely with Chijik, the idea of casting on Soup. Maybe he's not quite able to. Like, it's possible that might be one of the reasons for it. That could be a reason, because Soup and Chijik are competing platforms, and Crank has been working a lot with Chijik, so that might actually be some like streaming service politics that's coming into play there. If so, that is a bit of a shame. Like, I would have loved to have seen some Crank. But regardless, we're a little bit biased because we're the Cranky Ducklings. But regardless, here we go. We have our vetoes. We have both Cure and herO stepping into the ring. Game 1 is going to be on the Old Republic, followed by White Rabbits at 10,000 feet, Ruby Rock, and Tourmaline. We have our best of 5. When it comes to our vetoes, Cure gets rid of Title Citadel and Winter Madness. Okay, 2 of the larger maps. Meanwhile, oh wait, what? The vetoes that make sense, as both vetoed the same thing. So it looks like the vetoes aren't correctly displaying here, but of course we can assume that so we have Tourmaline, Ruby Rock, 10,000. Geez, we have all the aggressive maps here. Obviously we got rid of Mothership. So Mothership would have been one of the players' bans, and Celestial Enclave as well. So Mothership, Celestial Enclave, Title Citadel, and Winter Madness. The 4 maps that I just mentioned are very large. So we got rid of some of the larger maps in the map pool. Here we have more aggressive maps in the map pool instead. We'll get into it as we're jumping into game number 1. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, also from South Korea, representing T1. It is herO. We lined it up, baby. Let's go. But here we go. We're jumping into our fresh best of 5. We're loading into Old Republic. Now, the Old Republic, it's not a small map. I should emphasize that. It's a relatively large map in the map pool. Decent rush distance by ground as well. Looks like the head-to-head record here is in favor of herO, heavily when it comes to online and slightly when it comes to offline. So Cure, he can definitely hold his own. But when it comes to the map itself, again, not the largest map of the map pool, but also not the smallest. Has a decent rush distance by ground. So you have time to move across the map. But what is most impactful about this map is how open the 4th and 3rd are. Because of that, a lot of mid-game aggression is favored. Let's go. We got some herO fans in the chat. We are GSL. True. Oh, was that Trigger? Did you see that? Trigger was in the background. He was there. He's in the crowd. It's the Trigger. Let's go. Trigger spotted. We'll try to keep an eye out for other people that we recognize, that we know in the crowd. I know that Kronos, he's also in the crowd as well. If you're in our Discord server, Kronos is also providing us some photos from the crowd of the stage. So big shout out to Kronos for, of course, being a part of the event as well. What we were getting at is that this map does favor aggression in the mid game. Specifically, 3-base play pushes towards the 3rd, pushes towards the 4th base, can be very, very difficult to defend, and it is quite easy or easier to contain a player as a result of that, and they can have a really hard time gaining bases and gaining momentum if the other player has map control. This is often impactful in PvT. When the Protoss player gains momentum, they can contain their opponents, they can mass expand and get out of hand. That's very, very common in mid to late game PvT. Of course, Cure is aware of that, so we should be seeing more aggression out of Cure to get a lead early on, to get damage done early on, and to make sure that herO does not get out of hand. Let's go. For now, though, we're going to be opening up. It is going to be Rax Expand, Economic Start out of Cure, going for a Marauder follow-up here into Concussive Shell. So the goal here for Cure is he did go for an Economic Start, and herO scouted the Economic Opener. herO should be moving out with the Adept, and the goal for Cure is to catch this Adept with a Marauder, is to try to punish the punish. Like, herO wants to punish Cure, Cure wants to punish herO's punishment of Cure. That should be the goal here. So we're going to be hiding that first Marauder. This can lead into 3cc 3-racks or 3-racks follow-ups into heavy stim timings, but as we can see, that is a factory after the racks, not a second racks. So it is going to be a factory follow-up. We have a eBay behind the mineral line as well for our upgrades. We're building up into the mid-game, and oh, that is the creator. Is that you? That's a Robo Opener, not a Twilight Council. Okay, interesting build here by herO. So going for an early robo like this, and we have a gateway explosion behind this as well, we can go into a warp prism into early game aggression, but more often than not, robo opener means Colossus, right? It means fast Bay and fast Colossus is going to be available, but that is an early immortal already out of herO. And what's really interesting about this early immortal is that he hasn't scattered anything. Like, normally there's no reason to make an immortal this early on unless you believe you're being all in, right? If herO believes that Cure is being hyper aggressive and pushing across the map, then early immortals are amazing defensively. But because this is coming by unprompted, then it feels like herO is going to go immortal into prism with 2 more gateways into hyper aggression early on. Yep, there it is. There's that prism as we mentioned. So the early immortal screamed aggression, then we have the prism on the way, so it looks like herO, he does want to commit with 3 gates pressure, and what's scary is we do catch a Stalker, a very nice catch here by Cure, by the way, the power of the early Marauders, but behind this, again, herO, he's going into something hyper aggressive, and Cure has not seen this. Cure doesn't know what's coming. Cure, he caught a Stalker, but he has very limited vision across the map. The Reaper pokes in, the Reaper Scout is denied. So nice move there by herO. He denies the Reaper Scouts. We have a safety bunker on the low ground here for Cure. He is massing up Marines behind this. Cure, he does have a safety Cyclone. The Cyclone is going to be a big part of the defense. We'll see if we can get a lock-on on the Immortal or even a lock-on on the War Prism. As here comes herO. herO moves in, catching up the first Marauder. Very nice. Marauder is almost going down. Yeah, boys are being pulled. The tank is in position, and we catch both Marauders. Yeah, both Marauders are caught. There is a tank in position, but hey, the Immortal is a tank buster. So the Immortal can try to poke in. We see the Cyclone in position in the main. herO, he's unaware of the army's positioning here. Now he does spot the tank. He's going for it. He's going for the dive. He wants it. Oh my god, he does dive in. Going for the tank. The tank will go down, and so will the Cyclone. Massive pickups here. There's nothing else to defend. Tank falls. Cyclone falls. 2 Marines remaining. We just warp into the face of Cure, and Cure cannot stop the warp in. The juggling, though. He cannot stop the warp in. Nice juggling here with the Immortal. The Prism does barely get away, and so far, SCVs are going down. That's going to be 8, 9 SCVs falling, and the Prism gets out. Whew. Prism does get out. The bunker is going to be killed. The War Prism does recall back home. Now back across the map, something that we didn't see as we were distracted. It looks like that might have been the Reaper. Yeah, when I say might have, looks like it was. It was the Reaper. 6 probe kills. If it wasn't for this damage, by the way, then herO would be miles ahead. herO would be miles ahead here, and he is still ahead. But at least that one Reaper that could got 6 probe kills, right? So with that Cure, he has some kind of semblance of a way back into this game. At least herO isn't too far ahead, but herO is still ahead, right? herO, he still killed the tank, killed the Cyclone, killed SCVs, and herO still has map control, and herO's not stopping. Now he has to be careful here. Now we have 2 tanks. 2 tanks have arrived, and herO, he wants to dive in. He's tempted for damage here, and herO has to be careful not to overextend. If he does, then he may prompt a counterattack. So Stim is on the way. Cure, he's turtling up. Once again, shout out to that one Reaper across the map that was able to deal some devastating damage. And Charge is halfway done. Charge is on the way. Here we go. herO dropping into the main. Running into Marines. Oh, the Prism gets low. Yeah, War Prism gets low, but herO does pull back off. He does back off. Backs off. Charge is finishing. herO, he wants that tank. That tank on the low ground. Is there a bunker? Remember, the bunker was killed earlier. I don't think the bunker is replaced. Yeah, no bunker. No bunker in sight. herO moves in with the Observer. He's looking for his next targets. And again, that low ground is tempting. But there's the missile turrets, right? The turrets will deflect the Prism. We can maybe drop Immortals on top of the tank on the high ground. Does he go for the high ground tank? He's going for it. Does dive in. Marines. So Marines in position. The tank is going to be focused down. Nice pickup. Tank falls. Now there's 1 tank left. Nice boy pull. The boys are pulled. We still warp in more Zealots. Behind this, remember, here he's on 3 base saturation. And there's only 1 tank remaining. He has to kill the turrets. Turret goes down. Brings down the turret. Marines, they stim in, and Marines, they will punish. Cure's holding. Whew, Cure's holding on. He's got 1 Marines and combat shields. The Immortals, they should get away. Yeah, the Immortals, they back off. Stalkers, they not quite able to blink because there is no blink available. And Cure defense. Cure, he defends. He's moving out across the map. Oh my god, we're playing with fire. The Prism! Oh no! The Prism goes down! The herO, he got too excited. Far too excited. Now Cure's all in. Cure is all in. Remember, he has... Oh, actually, he throws down a 3rd CC. So Cure, he's expanding behind this. He is going for a big counterattack. He has potential. There's no shield battery back at home. Yeah, there's no battery. And again, herO got too greedy. He could have escaped, but he dropped back in again. He wanted to get as much value as he could. You go punished. Kira's coming. He's rallying across the map. Kira is rallying. herO trying to engage ahead of time. Does spot the army. Ooh, collapsing on the Marines. Doesn't get too many though. herO, he once again pulls away. We have another warp into Zealots, and herO holds. Okay, very tense game. Very, very tense here. herO, he does hold on. He does throw down his 4th base. At the same time, Kira's getting his 3rd. And as the dust settles, where exactly are we? So herO still has a superior economy. That is true. He's still up on 3 bases, but he lost a Prism. He lost 2 Immortals. Remember, 2 Immortals went down when he got caught in the center of the map. He lost some very expensive units, and it does take time. It takes time to rebuild, to replenish that. So herO needs time to recover. At the same time, a very ambitious move here, but it has a lot of risk. It has a lot of reward tied to it as well. That is the Zealot run by. This does mean that herO has less to defend, but the pylon does spot the army. Ooh, herO, he spots the army on the right hand side. He knows that Kira is out of position, and here comes the mass Zealot counterattack. Now this does mean that this Colossus is exposed, right? The Colossus is more vulnerable. There's very little to support the Colossi, but here comes the mass Zealot run by, and he's pushing into the bases. Yeah, he does push in, getting into the mineral line. Zealots peel off in towards the main. Massive Widow Mine shots. Yeah, very nice connections. Marauder does hold the line, and Kira, can he break the Colossus? He's stimming in, and again, as we mentioned before, there are less Zealots here to defend. Less gateway units. The Immortal gets focused down. No battery in position either. No shield battery, and he gets a Colossus. Oh my god. Colossus goes down, and Kira has done it. Kira, he has broken the 3rd base. As we mentioned, the move that herO just went for, high risk, high reward. Yes, he was able to get some SCV kills, but it also means that he is exposed back at home. The parents were down, the Colossus goes down, and so does the entire mineral line. And Kira is looking to start things off with a win, with a lead, as even more probes go down. Oh my god. 14 probe kills. 14 probes. You can see on the minimap as well, Kira's rallying. Kira, he's rallying across the map. He knows that he is so close to breaking herO here and now. herO, he has almost nothing remaining. He's got a Colossus. He's got a handful of gateway units. There's still no battery. There's gonna be 1 sentry with potentially a force field. Decent spread here by Kira. Very nice spread. Yeah, reducing splash damage. It looks like with the help of 2 Colossus, can we hold on? But there's still more Marauders. Yeah, so many Marauders. They're built to tank. They can take some Colossus swipes to the face. They're fine. He can just keep stimming. Yeah, he can just stim on in. Spending DPS on the Nexus. Bear that in mind. Nexus does take a lot of hits, a lot of damage. With Kai back there. We go. Del snipe one of the Colossus. Gets 1. Yeah, gets a Colossus. Almost gets the other as well. Now, if only Kira was aware of the 4th base. Fun fact, if Kira knew the 4th base was where it was, on the top side, on the left-hand side of the map, then it would be broken immediately. Would be brought down. Colossus falls to the Vikings. Nice pickup. I mean, even not knowing about the 4th base, he's still breaking the main army. Like, he's still pushing into the 3rd. It's still happening. Zealots are buying some time, but nice kiting here by Kira. He trades very efficiently. And you can see the movement on the minimap. It looks like he's checking for the 4th. Yeah, he's finally checking. And again, there's no saving it. Here he rotates over. Does spot the expansion. There are 0 Colossus. Here is in position. He's made it. He rotates over in time. Curie still has momentum. Oh, herO collapsing in. Ooh, very nice force field. He looks down. Oh, the pickup though. Very nice pickup. Curie pulls away, preserves his Marauders. Nice control by Kira. Colossus rallying across the map. Hopefully not rallying into the main army. Hopefully. And I'm impressed that herO was able to hold on to his 4th base. Like, he's treading water and herO has not stabilized yet, but he's holding on. He's surviving. And herO needs more time. Again, herO just now starts +3. He's working on Blink. He's getting a 2nd Colossus. He still needs more time to stabilize and to branch out into more splash damage. Again, the fact that we have the 4th base up running is keeping herO in this game. If Kira was aware of it earlier, then it would have been broken. And you can see here, Kira peeling off a double drop. Moving towards the 4th base. Sorry, single drop, I should say. Does him in. Yeah, Sims into the mineral line. Pro's going to be going down. Massive damage. There's the recall back home. And this is what we mentioned, this is what we mean when we say that herO has yet to stabilize, is that herO doesn't have the supply to defend, to attack, to be in multiple locations at once. Like, he's very limited with what he has. Here you have a Zealot run by, Cure is in position, he does deflect. And that's going to be 11 probe kills. Oof. Medevac goes down, but it was well worth it. Yeah, was well worth it. Curry moves in, sets up his liberation zones. He's got his freedom. The freedom is here. The fourth base is broken. Yeah, you can see here evacuate. He knows he cannot save it. You can see here going for the base raid instead, going for the counterattack. It's the only chance he has, right? Like, here cannot fight the main army, so he's going to try to cause some chaos. Cure does notice. He turns back around. And Cure's giving chase. And damage is being done. Does get into the mineral line. Jesus. Okay, that's a lot of liberation zones. Cure, he doesn't turn around with everything, which means he's sniping the third. He'll snipe the expansion. Zealous, they do camp the production. So we're getting messy. We're getting messy here, but Curie snipes the third. Now he's going towards the new fourth base. Oh my god, 24 SCV kills. That's a lot of SCVs going down, but he does find another expansion. Another Nexus. Doesn't kill the probes, bear that in mind. It doesn't get too much worker damage, but does kill bases. The fourth, the third, and the fifth. Hero taking top left. Hiding his ninja expansion. Again, Hero getting desperate. But what I will say is that because Hero's retained his probes, if he can get that base back up and running, he can have a superior economy. Meanwhile, Cure, he plummets in supply. That's mainly worker supply. Bear that in mind. When it comes to the main armies, Cure, he does have a more potent force. But when it comes to now the economies, I mean, Hero potentially can recover faster. He's just long distance mining all over the place. You can see just workers all over the minimap trying to mine. So remember, the soup does lie, right? Like, in a head-on fight, Cure does have the greater army. He does find the ninja expansion. At the same time, Hero, he has to be careful. Cure claiming a fourth. And Cure does find it. Yeah, he does find the expansion. Will force a recall. Does recall top left. Recall is now on cooldown. Bear that in mind. There are, what, 4 disruptors. Now, Hero does have a chance in the main fight, and that is going to be these Purification Novas. If he can land with those Novas, he can recover, he can take a fight, but he needs them to connect. Once again, I mean, for the past almost 10 minutes now, Hero's been behind. And Cure, he'll take the better fight if he's in position. Liberators are repositioning. Oh, Novas go off. Catch out some Marines. A couple of SCVs as well. Jesus. Not bad. Catch a couple of workers. Hero rotating towards the low ground. Liberation zones are set up. Oh my god. Vikings, they blew back the Colossus. Bullies them back. Cure dropping once again. Remember, this time there's no recall. Hero does try to rotate in. Does get into the mineral line. Does get a couple of SCVs. Oof. And once again, Curie gets 9 probes. At the same time, though, Hero gets into the mineral line once again. Just a handful of Zealots. So again, keeping Curie's economy low. And here come those disruptors. He's up to 5 disruptors. Oh god, no. Hero, be careful. Don't push into the freedom zones. Liberator range is on the way. Working towards advanced ballistics. Hero does snipe 1. He hits 2. Not bad. 2 liberators. Oh my god. Jesus, the Nova almost connects. As you mentioned, we need these Novas to connect, and if so, then Hero can win a fight. Once again, another Zealot run by. And he gets into the main. Oh my, he's doing it. He gets into the main base. More workers going down. And this is getting out of hand. Even sniping the fusion core. Denies up the range. Massive pickup. Takes down the upgrade. Likewise going for the E-base as well. And Curie's getting torn apart. Once again, Liberators are exposed. Does catch 2. Yeah, takes down 2 more Liberators. There's a recall back home. Zealous even trade well here against the Bio army because we're overstimmed. Again, we're still getting very messy. I still do favor Cure in a head-on fight, but hero's not fighting head-on. Hero's been very successful when it comes to Zella run by Zella counterattacks. Zella drops some Warp and Warp-ins into the main. Hero's been very, very successful with that. And now the Liberator count is much lower. Much lower. Speaking of, down to 3. Down to 3 Liberators. Here he's re-expanded, he's maintaining his economy, maintaining his army. Nova zones. Catching out a Viking. Very nice control here from herO. Catching a Viking, Curie gets across the map once again. We mentioned earlier those Zella Rombis, they just keep coming. They keep going. And herO gets up the ramp. Almost. Almost opposition Cure. Didn't quite get in. Again, if he can take over that high ground, he can dominate the fight. Both players are maxing out. Now, when it comes to our max out compositions, as you mentioned previously, it's going to be a very high Liberator Ghost army. Ooh. But that Liberator count is not actually as high as it otherwise once was. Still only 3 Liberators. Now to 4. Whereas typically you do want a higher Liberator count. I believe there's only 1 starport. Colossus Swipes going off. 1 Colossus goes down. Yeah, nice pick off at a herO. And again, after an intense back and forth, it's been a while since Cure's been across the map. herO's economy is now stable. He's on 80 probes. It took a long time to get there, but 80 probes are now secure for herO. He's now accumulating a bank. Going for double War Prism, let's go. And Cure's in danger. At this point, I would say that the lead that Cure once had finally is kind of waning here. I still prefer the main army, but at the same time, another full medevac goes down. Cure takes care of top left. herO rotating to the center. And doesn't find a way in. Barely not. And does not push in. herO still posturing, still rotating. Kind of loving the army movement here from herO. And we mentioned at the very beginning of this game how accessible the 3rd and 4th are, and that's what hero's been abusing, right? This location here threatening the 3rd and the 4th expansion. So what we mentioned at the start of the game came into play here in regards to just how open those bases are and how difficult it is to defend. And we spoke about how in PvT it's often the Protoss gains map control. Well, it happened. It wasn't clean. Bear that in mind. It was not a clean game at all. It was very messy, very shaky. But eventually herO gained map control. Eventually Cure's been contained on 4 bases. And hero's now going for the double drop into the main. Oh, he moves in. Yeah, he moves up the high ground. Nova's a zone away the ground army. Zelsa get into the mineral line, and the Prisms get into the main. And again, Cure's just being torn apart here. Here he has economy to be able to afford this. 7 SCV kills, going for the Academy, going for another massive warp in. I believe the CC did float away. Oof. But here even getting on top of the ghosts. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 ghosts going down. Ay, ay, ay. Catching out a Liberator. Nice control out of herO. Here, forced to recall back home. Oh my god. It doesn't quite get the medevac. Academy still survives. And Cure, he's had enough. You can see Cure's frustrations. You can see on the minimap, his main army just pushes. He's just had enough defending. He's had enough. The frustration's clear there for Cure, where he's had the better army for so long, but he just could never force the main fight. He just A moves across the map. Just F2A move, you just send it. And we're going for the base trade. We're just coming to the base trade. Cure's had enough defending. But alas, hero's already in the main. That's the issue here. He already has a massive lead in terms of the base trade. He's already in the main base. Everything's flashing red here for Cure. I think it looks like the 4th base is still untouched, but the production's under fire. Yeah, the production's under fire, and here has plenty of expansions. So even though Cure is pushing into the main, here he has more bases to throw down more production, throw down more buildings, to maintain his economy, to keep warping in. And Cure, you can see him floating back home, trying to save his command centers. Oh, the boys get caught out. Oh no. Yeah, SCVs do fall. CCs are being hunted down. herO, he's coming back home. He wants to go for the main fight. At this point, he has the advantage. At this point, now there are 0 Liberators. 0 Liberators left for Cure. So now it's much easier to engage into. Much, much easier. We have our 5 Disruptors. All 3 Vikings go down. No more Vikings, no more anti-air. At least not in the sky. Disruptors do get focused down. Oh, hero's got to be careful. He has to be careful here. Lose all the disruptors. He just blinks in. He just blinks in. He collapses on the army, and with that herO, he has done it. He has broken Cure. GG gets called, and Cure, he taps out. herO takes game number 1. Whew, GG. Ay, GG, well played, Cure. You could sense the frustrations there from Cure. Cure, he was in such a good position. I remember across the map, he had destroyed the main army of herO. He was breaking bases, breaking mineral lines. There were a couple of key moments though that we did bring out. But that was the 4th base. Remember, the hidden 4th base on the left hand side was untouched for a very long time, despite the fact that Cure was almost straight up killing herO at his 3rd. But Cure didn't know. He was not aware of the 4th location. So because of that, all that pressure was being applied to the 3rd base, where he could have gone for the 4th to have actually killed the expansion itself and keeping the economy low. But here he snuck out that 4th base. He was able to keep it up and running. He then lost his 4th, his 3rd, and his 5th. If you remember, he lost 3 bases. Cure still had the advantage, and herO took top left, the ninja base, and he got it up. It got saturated as well. herO eventually fought for map control. Eventually, thanks to the non-stop Zealot run buys and Zealot drops, Cure, he relinquished map control. He was stuck back at home, and herO stabilized. herO stabilized with his economy. herO maxed out, and even despite that, for a long time herO could still not fight the main army. But the Zealot harass was just insane. It was it was relentless is the word I was looking for. Relentless Zealot run buys, relentless Zealot drops, and in the end he did break Cure. Even broke his patience. Even he became impatient towards the end. Cure, he just said screw it, go for the base trade, and that's when everything fell apart. GG, well played. Whew, so very impressive comeback there from herO to be able to survive, recover, and claw his way back in and just be, again, relentless with his aggression. And now we're going into that. This leads us into White Rabbit, a very different map. Now, when it comes to the Old Republic, what we mentioned about the map itself was just how accessible the 3rd and 4th base are, and how it does hurt the player that doesn't have map control. We saw that come into play eventually. Here on White Rabbit, it's very different. We'll get into it. The bases themselves are more defendable, but on White Rabbits, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th are much more spread out. So map vision and map awareness are even more crucial on White Rabbit to be able to defensively rotate and keep up with the army, control with the army, run-bys, counterattacks. Mid to late game can be quite difficult on White Rabbits for a different reason. Oh, sorry, Winter Madness. Looks like they made the wrong lobby, and there we go. Now we actually have the vetoes. Celestial Enclave, Tactile Citadel, alongside White Rabbit and Mothership. So Winter Madness. Winter Madness is going to be game 2. So it looks like they just had the wrong vetoes and they made the wrong lobby. But now we have the correct vetoes. Okay. Winter Madness is a lot more standard. And take away what I mentioned about White Rabbits because it's vetoed. we vetoed White Rabbits. We're done with that. Winter Madness is coming up next. And again, this is a much different dynamic here. A much more standard dynamic. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Cure. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. We have for South Korea, for T1, it is herO. Here we go. As we're getting into game 2 here, and as we load on in, welcome to Winter Madness. Now, what I mentioned previously is not impactful here. The distance between the bases is pretty normal, pretty standard. Likewise, you have a ramp coming in between the bases at the natural and the 3rd base. You do have a relatively narrow choke point coming to the 3rd, and likewise a choke point into the 4th base. As opposed to Old Republic. Let's go. As opposed to the Old Republic, I would say that your 4-base setup on Winter Madness is much more secure. Here. So in saying that, I will say that if we were to end up in a similar situation, herO would have an easier time defending. Easier time stabilizing on 4 bases and building up his army. As a result of that, we should be seeing a much more aggressive stance from herO to try to stop the 4th base from getting up and running. Like if herO can get his 4th up, he can max out and he can deny any kind of run bys, counterattacks, and start working towards a 5th base, and had just a very different dynamic. Very, very different. But we'll see. We shall see. At the same time, herO, he might just not want to embrace a longer and later game, even if he has a easier time defending. He might just want to end things earlier. Last game, he was still hyper aggressive, if you recall. Still very, very aggressive. Greetings from Germany. Let's go. The Dutch God himself, I'm sure. But great to see some international fans in the audience as well. Great to see. As once again, Rax into Tech Lab into Marauder. If you remember last game, herO, he opened up Marauder. Jesus, like the early game of game 1 was so long ago. It was half an hour ago. So herO, if you remember, in game 1, he went for a Marauder opener to catch out the first units, and then herO went for his own Immortal opener instead and went into hyper aggression and where he almost broke herO initially. It was a very back and forth game, as initially herO had the advantage, then herO lost 2 Immortals in the Warp Prism, then herO was defenseless back at home. Yeah, the crazy back and forth. Coming into this though, herO going for the same opener, he wants to try to punish the early gateway units of herO. Meanwhile, this time, do you see herO? Twilight Council. Twilight Council opener, not a Robo this time. Last game, the early Robo led into early Immortal, led into hyper aggression in the early game from herO. This time, early Twilight Council is more standard. Going into Blink, into a heavier gateway count. Now the question becomes, is this 2-gate, 3-gate, or 4-gate Blink Stalker? Depending on the gateways, that tells us if herO wants to be greedy, safe, or aggressive. So we'll keep an eye on the gateway. So far, that is the 2nd gateway in production. Oh my god! 2 gateways, but not making an upgrade, not going into Blink, going into a Dark Shrine. Ooh, okay. This is gonna get out of hand. Why? herO is going for a proxy starport. What does that mean? That means he's going for a medevac drop. He's going for initially drop play into the bases. That also means that there won't be a Raven. So Raven play will not be an option for herO, so that takes away some potential detection. Obviously, you can scan, but now there's not going to be a Raven. Oh boy. So here we go. So typically when we go proxy starport, it's for Hellion drops, but there's no Hellion drop. Is this for proxy Banshee? Yeah, I was curious where the Tech Lab was. Tech Lab was across the map. It is proxy Banshee. So it's going for proxy Banshees into the bases. Meanwhile, there won't be any defensive starport back at home. You can reactively try to make a Raven, but that's going to be ill-advised. It comes down to the scan. It comes down to whether or not herO mules or he doesn't. If herO mules at the wrong time, that's game. Straight up. Like, we've seen players like Beyond, herO, Maru, Clem just insta-GG when DTs arrive if they mule at the wrong moments. Because this can become devastating critical damage. And again, there won't be like a random Raven dropping out. So far, we have energy at the natural, okay. We have enough scan energy at the natural, and soon to be in the main base as well. Does herO mule? DTs are moving in. He's holding onto the scan. Hey, he's fine. He's holding onto the scan energy. DT waddles in. herO, does he notice? Oh, DT's okay, they reveal themselves. They reveal themselves. Yep, there's already one scan. There it is. There's the first scan, and there's soon to be a scan in the main as well. God, despite that 12, it's in 13. Oh my, you can see how quickly. 4 to 15 SCVs. That is critical damage already. That's an entire mineral line, despite having the scans. Now, thankfully, this is too much. Yeah, this is too much. Game-ending damage is being dealt, but there are the Banshees. The Banshees, they can make up for this across the map. They could. Oof. That's a kill, not a cancel on the turrets. There's one scan in the main, but there's still another DT at the natural. At the same time, Banshees, they hit across the map. And is there detection? There is a Robo. There is a Robo. The Observer is being chronoed as we speak. We need that Observer. Banshee so far, they get 4 probe kills. Meanwhile, across the map, 20 SCVs have fallen. It's the invisible flying machine. Invisible units in general. I mean, hey, they're popping off. Nice split here with the Banshees. They do split. Observer's out. DT still wreaking havoc. Oh my god. Finally, one more scan in the main base, but there's still another Dark Templar in the natural. Meanwhile, this is adding up. 13 probe kills. herO still has double the worker count though. There's one more scan, and there's still another DT at the natural. First Banshee goes down, there's one Banshee left. Raven has made it back home in time, quote unquote in time, like it will defend. We have the Raven, finally. And as the dust settles, we have to favor herO. herO's on 3 bases, herO's on 49 probes. herO could be in a better position if he had the Observer in position back at home, so that did lead to a lot of chaos, of course. But in the end, herO, he does have a stronger economy, which will lead into a stronger mid-game. Now the question becomes, from this point forward, does herO go into a timing attack and go for a big timing attack and a big push, or does he just play standard and just get a 4th base and take his gases and get into splash damage, into storm, into colossus, and just play a game from here? I mean, it's herO, so he's probably going to try to kill. That's for better or for worse, herO, he often does go for the kill move instead, and rarely does he just try to like lay back and just, you know, rest on his laurels and try to get further ahead. That's just not herO. Not typically. Again, for better or for worse. So charge is on the way, +1, we already have the prism, and yep, you can see herO's moving out. And again, herO doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. He can just chill and build up from here. But he's moving out across the map. He wants to go for the kill. He wants to end the game. Here come the warp-ins. Observer goes down. There are 2 tanks on low ground. Currently they're on siege. Oh. Oh no, he was pulling the boys. He was about to pull the boys. Kira was about to go for his own all-in, and he runs into herO. And with that, SCVs are falling. A Cyclone goes down as well. There's 2 tanks left. Can he get on top of the tanks? It's close, but it looks like he shouldn't be able to. Yeah, Kira, he will deflect. But again, Kira heals mid-pull the boys. Kira was going for his own 2-base all-in because he had taken so much damage. I was talking about what herO should do, but again, Kira, because he sustained so many losses, Kira's all in. Kira's all in. Yep, more boys are being pulled from the main. They get pulled in from the main base, they get intercepted. herO confirms the all-in. He should be feeling good about this, and all he has to do is survive. Just survive back at home, warp in as much as he can. Warp in all the zealots. And he can even catch some of these tanks on siege. Yeah, he gets a free tank. He gets a free tank. The other 2 will siege up outside of the natural, but there's barely an army here. Defouls the robo, that's nice and all, but decent positioning. The Immortal does move in. First tank goes down. There's 1 tank left. Down to 0. 0 tanks. GG gets called, and herO takes a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. A much more dominant game this time out of herO. Winding it back, if you remember, game 1 was more back and forth. Game 1, herO was the aggressor, and then herO overextended, and herO got punished, and then Cure had map control, and Cure was trying to end the game. Then eventually, herO was able to stabilize, mass counterattacks. Like, game 1 was insane, was so close, so back and forth. Here in game 2, DTs did game-ending damage. Straight up, they did game-ending damage. Thankfully, the Banshees did make up for that a little bit, but the reality is there's a reason why Cure pulled the boys when he did, right? Because Cure was too far behind. He was too far behind. The only way to try to win the game from there was to just pull the boys and go for the all-in, but because herO was also being aggressive himself, then he ran into the all-in. herO ran into the all-in, was like, oh, okay, I'll just slow this down ahead of time, catch out the SCVs, catch out the Cyclone, weaken the all-in already, and by the time Cure got across the map, he didn't really have anything left. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're loading into game number 3. Going to be loading into 10,000 feet. A much smaller map this time. Much smaller map. Shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here on 10,000 feet, and we'll get into it. I say aggression, momentum is favored. Specifically, I shouldn't say aggression because it kind of has different connotations. We'll get into it as we load into the map. Oh boy. Now, as we get loaded into game 3, I want to see a back and forth, regardless of who wins, right? Whether it's Cure, whether it's herO, regardless of who wins, I want more than a 3-0 here. I want to see a game 4. I want to see a game 5. I want to see more out of these 2 players. But maybe Ryung's practice is just too good. True. The caster himself. I mean, as spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Terran player for Team Liquid. It is Kyor. I was too early with it. There we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Protoss leading the series 2-0 and 1 game away from advancing on to the Grand Finals. For T1, it is herO. They're a lot faster with that one. And we're going for the proxy 2 racks. We're going for the proxies. 2 SCVs are sent out across the map, and we are setting up the racks across the map. Now, herO scouts very quickly. Very fast pylon scout out of herO. With that, herO, he will confirm that the depot is by itself and that there is no racks. With this, herO will know that there is a proxy, but he doesn't know exactly what kind of proxy yet. Whether it's committed, whether it's not. So here we go. We have our 2 Raxes. Gas is being taken. Proxy Reaper out of Cure. Now, it is not uncommon for Cure to go for a proxy 1-1-1 even. Coming from Dallas. Oh, let's go. From Dallas. Esther Dally. And you can see here he's looking for the proxy. So he does check the linear third location first. Checks the linear third. Now checking the center of the map. There's only 1 gas back at home. So it's just Proxy Reaper. The probe does double back around towards the triangular third location. So it does check this pocket area. And then from here should go up the ramp. So once again, just checking for proxies. Now should be going up the ramp. And now should confirm. This is not Proxy Reaper, by the way. It's Proxy Marauder. And the probe doesn't see. Oh, but the second probe. Yeah, the second probe will confirm. It does move towards the left-hand side. And from here should move to the right. Oh no. Okay, there we go. It's a very late scout. It's very, very late, but does confirm the double Proxy Marauder. So now here is fully aware. He did go Zealot first, but again, it was a late scout from herO. This is getting dangerous. I'm getting some I Am Katowice flashbacks from 2 years ago. Not gonna lie. The Katowice flashback says Zealot does zone away the Marauder for now. We're buying time for the battery. So far, that's 3 Marauders. Soon to be 5. That's a heavy Marauder count. The boys are being pulled. Cure is completely all in. Just completely all in. herO, he might just have to abandon the low ground and pull the boys himself. Jesus, that's a lot of battery. Okay, he's committing. He does commit, throws down a wall of batteries. We'll see if they finish in time. It's still going to be a tough hold. I believe there's a second pylon to keep everything powered. And looks like 3 batteries will finish. Sorry, 4. Oh no! Yeah, has to pull away. Yeah, he's out of position. He gets surrounded. herO was not paying attention. He was not paying attention. 1, the Stalker goes down. He's out of range of the batteries. He is zoned away. And just a disaster here for herO. He gets surrounded by the SCV. Second Stalker goes down. And herO has all these batteries, but nothing to heal. Okay, yes, 1 Stalker. Copium. Yeah, a couple of probes are being pulled. Jesus, they just chew through the Stalker shields. And I believe Curie should be able to break through here. Yeah, again, herO just wasn't paying attention. You can see him smile. Yeah, you can see hands off the keyboard. herO knows. The I Am Katowice flashbacks. Ay. Yeah, herO, he has to fight without his batteries now. He can't force field the ramp. He looks in 5 Marauders. He gets 1. Jeez, but he's losing so many probes in the process. He gets 1 Marauder. So because they get tied up. Down to 8 probes. Down to 7. Oh, he doesn't get to the battery in time. Yeah, he doesn't get there in time. The batteries, they cannot help him. Cannot warp in either. GG. GG gets called. We have it back and forth. We're going to game number 4. Whew. GG, well played. For those who don't know what I'm referencing, by the way, back in 2024, so this was 2 years ago at this point, at I Am Katowice 2024, in the quarterfinals of the tournament, we had Cure versus herO, and it was Cure versus herO on, oh god, it was the Protoss looking map with the low ground 4th base, or I guess technically low ground 3rd. Was it Golden? No, was it Golden Aura? Hold on, I gotta look it up. But on that map, Cure went for the same build. Not Golden Aura. No, wait. It was GoldenEye, yeah. We remember. But on GoldenEye, it looks like we come to a short break. But on GoldenEye, if you recall, Kira, he went for the proxy Truax Marauder, and he killed herO, and he won the series with that. They went to the ace match, to be fair, in that series. But Kira cheesed herO out of IM Katowice in the quarterfinals with that very same build. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have game 4 of herO versus Kira. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, we have returned. We are mid-series. We're mid-series here with our first semifinals match. And honestly, the series has been looking a little bit more one-sided here, specifically game 2. Game 1 was more intense, more back and forth. herO took a 2-0 lead, and then here in game 3, herO got cheesed the hell out late scout. Unfortunately, herO, he did recognize that Kira was proxying and going for a cheese on 10,000 feet, and herO was looking, and herO was checking everywhere, and finally did find the proxy, but found him very late. Very, very late scout there by herO. He was setting up in the low ground. He lost his first 2 stalkers. herO was inattentive. You remember, the big moment where Kira won the game was when herO got caught with 2 stalkers out on the map, out of range of the batteries. He was out of range of the batteries. He got surrounded by the SCVs. He lost 2 stalkers. That was game. That was game then and there. And with that, Kira, he overwhelmed. And Kira, he has put a point on the board. One more game away from the ace match. Kira, can he force game 5? Can he force the ace match? Can he continue this series? Or will herO win it out here and now? As we're loading into Ruby Rock. We are going to be loading in. Ruby Rock is now a smaller map of the map pool, shorter rush distance background, open third, open fourth, short rush distance aggression, all-ins are favored. This is where we expect aggression from Cure specifically. Cure, he is known as an aggressive player. Like he just showed that he's willing to cheese, but he can also all-in as well. We'll get into it. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the blue Terran for Team Liquid. It is Cure. I was too fast, there we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for T1. It is herO. I sped through herO's one because usually the second player that they introduce is faster. Like, my apologies. I was not synced up for the intros for this game. And Curie opens up with another proxy Rax. Now, as you can see here, it's a different setup. Oh, welcome to GSL. Thanks to Crank, onside soup intel. Let's go. He's got an onside jersey. He's giving a shout out to Crank. Oh my god. Let's go. Ay, ay, ay. Big shout out, by the way. But we are going to be settling in. What I should mention is that this time Curie goes double gas. He goes for a double gas opener, and he only goes for a single Rax across the map. He's still going for a proxy, but it is nowhere near as aggressive. It is nowhere near as committed. Not as all in. First time GSL watching 2010. First time live 2014. Last time live at 2020. What? Oh my god. 2141. Let's go. Shout out to all the fans in the chat. All the fans. Proxy Rax into reactor into 111. It's looking like a 111. My apologies. I said that was like, oh, it's not as committed, but no, it looks like a factory alongside this. Yep, there it is. There's that factory. So the cheese continues here for Cure. Once again, herO needs to look for the proxy itself. And we'll see if herO takes it seriously. I believe herO did not make the first Zealot. Not this time. I could be mistaken. He did. Okay, okay. Did make the first Zealot. He's scouting the top side. And herO, does he find the proxy? He's checking the center. Yeah, he's checking the center first. If not, just going across the map, it's going to be a Stargate opener out of herO. Ooh. With the Stargate opener, he can make oracles early on, which can work okay depending on what is being made. But again, it's going to be a proxy 1-1 setup here into the factory, into the starport, into proxy tank. Right? It's going to be proxy tank. Technically, we can make oracles for the Marines, and then a Phoenix can lift the tank. Like, you can still try to make that work, but you're not going to have a lot of time to actually build up your Phoenix count if that's the plan. The oracles, they can be okay. We'll see. Remember, there's no stim. So, like, even though there are Marines, a good amount of oracles can still break through the Marine count. Zealot does work on the wall. Void Ray first. Okay. Does make the initial Void Ray. Tanks are underway. Boys are being pulled to repair. Oh boy, and we're soon to push in with the tank. Now, if you remember, this build was very common on 10,000 feet. If you remember, both Maru and Cure did this very same build during the group stage of this tournament in GSL. During the group stage. So you should have seen this previously. You saw it against Classic and against, I want to say, Down as well. So herO should be aware of this build, or of its existence, I should say. Nice pickups. Nice target firing, getting 2 SCVs. Battery in the main. herO, he does not attempt to expand this time, so no low ground defense. Probes in position. He's on patrol. And here we go, dropping into the main. Yeah, it does drop in. Tank is revealed. Medevac is focused down. Very nice pickup. Takes down the Medevac, and there's no escape. Wow, there's no escape here. The Void Rays, they will clean this up completely. And the tank, there's only so much it can do to support. And there's no way out. There's no way out. Every Marine will fall. Massive pickups. And is this how it ends? The all-in is failing. The all-in is failing. Nice control. The Void Ray does pull back to the battery. The tank is exposed. Limited anti-air. We mentioned this earlier when it came to the Oracle defense. But vanilla Marines without stim, I mean, they can't really hold their own against these air units. Again, 3 Marines left. Down to 2. We have more Marines reinforcing. And Cure, again, this all-in is falling on its face. We've seen this work previously, but again, against a Stargate opener like this, And against Blind Void Ray first as well, herO took it very seriously. GG gets called, the all-in fails, and herO will claim the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. herO, he will claim the series, he will advance on to the grand finals. My condolences to Cure as he's going to be knocked out. We saw a vast array of proxies and cheese here, and I could have seen this series turning out very differently if game 1 had gone Cure's way. Remember, Cure was dominating in game 1. I say dominating, but like he was so close to killing herO. He was ahead, he was breaking through, was pushing across map. We emphasized that Cure didn't know that the fourth was taken. We emphasized that herO had hidden it on the left-hand side, and that made sure that herO had a way back into the game, and he did. He dragged himself back into that game. That first game set the pace for the series. It was the closest one, could have gone either way, went herO's way, of course, and then it all just fell apart for Cure. It all just fell apart. Sure, Cure, he was able to fight back in game number 3 with the Proxy Churax, with the Proxy Churax Marauder, but again, that heavily relied on not scouting and on underreacting, or sorry, I say underreacting, but in a rough response out of herO. But alas, here in game number 4, herO took it very seriously. Didn't try to take the low ground. Set up in the main. GG, well played. Congratulations. herO does advance on, and I'm sure we'll have a winner's interview. The GSL top pros is herO 5 times, Zest 4, MC Classic Stats, Trap 3 times. In the GSL finals. That's really cool stats. But herO, he is the Protoss player with the most amount of finals in GSL. Let's go. Let us go. His 4th GSL finals appearance after 2 seasons since the season 1 of 2025. There you go. It's been a while. It's been a while. Something about that beginning of the year. That beginning. As again, we are getting our interview ready, I'm sure. Shout out to Maddox providing translations. Shout out to both Tasteless and State for being here on top of the casting couch as well. We can see Sola and Ryung in the background in their Team Salmon shirts. True. They're the Team Tuna. They're not salmon. They're not salmon anymore. Now they're tunas. Beautiful. It all ties together, Papi. It ties together. Team Salmon no more. Team Tuna. Let's go. So again, I'm sure we're going to be. I would imagine they would have a winners interview, but we'll see. We'll see. They might just go straight to the next series. Regardless, GG, well played. Again, Cure, he is now out of the GSL. herO is going to be our first finalist, and again, great to see that little graphic made. I'm sure they made a graphic for both players, just ready to showcase either graphic, depending on which player would advance on. And we are soon getting ready for our next semifinals match. That will be a best of 5 between Maru and Shin. There's a lot to get into there, specifically in regards to TVZ. Specifically. As it looks like we have an interview. No, never mind. Never mind. So we're going to be cutting to a short break. Shout out to the crowd, by the way. Let's go. Who do we see in there? I know I saw Trigger earlier. Yeah, cut into a break. Get some snacks, get some food, get some water, drain your disruptors, massage your marines, and we'll see you guys soon after the break with the next semifinals match. See you in 8 minutes time.